Everybody, we have the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Eric freaking Blanton with us today. Thanks
Glad
for
to
being
be
here, man.
here.
Thanks for coming back for your busy schedule. So Eric went through RCA back in I think you jumped in what, July?
It was late August, and then I got really cranked up in October.
That's right. And is back to talk a little bit about his experience and how things are these days, how things are going. Yeah. So thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it, because I know you got a gig to be working on and money to make.
Absolutely.
But tell me, I guess, like, right from the top, like, what was it that you initially wanted from RCA, and how did you kind of feel about jumping in?
All right. So honestly, to kind of understand the depth of that story, really kind of goes back to how much I was working at my previous job. So I was working about 70 hours on average a week, sometimes more. Very rarely it was less, for about 7 years solid. Great job as far as, like, I love my people, love my employees. I was a director of operations of 3 coffee shops. So, but the problem was like, while I served my company well, wasn't my company, wasn't my kingdom I was building, and my family took the hit for that. And that, I think that's really where, like, there came a point where I had to make a decision, and I knew I was there, and I didn't know what to do, honestly. And my wife was looking for jobs for me online because I was so busy working, I didn't have time to do it. And she came across RCA. She saw a Kohl's ad, and then she honestly signed me up for it without even asking. So I kind of got thrown in there without having any clue what was going on. I was on a phone call with Hunter, and I was like, wait, who am I talking to? Wait, what is this for? Oh, wait, there's a video? Okay, hold on. Let me watch this video and call you back. I was a horrible prospect. I'm so sorry, Hunter. Bless him. And then I called him back because I liked what I heard. And then, I kept him on the phone for way too long. But Hunter really stuck it out. And he was up very late with me in the evening, answering all my questions and just shooting real with me, because he knew that's what I needed. He knew I needed real tangible answers, and he gave that to me. And so jumped on a call with Amy, and she really helped just kind of, like, I guess, just like flesh out, like, my fears, just kind of figured out, like, the core of, like, what was I looking for and why was I looking for it? And then what was my hesitations? She gave me clarity on what, you guys do at RCA, and just how that it could be a problem solver for me, and really give me what I was looking for. Because my main things I was looking for is, like, time with my family, and then the finances to do that. I don't want to, I could spend time with my family and lose my house. Yeah, that's great.
Right.
Yeah, we can live in a camper, but that's not what we were really wanting. So, I'd love to keep my house. So this was it was a win-win, and I couldn't find an excuse that wasn't able to be squashed. And so, I threw back on, just like, I have experience in sales, but not like that. Like, it's window, drive-through window service. Like, here's my 3-minute conversation, if that, and right. Have a good day, bye. And so, it just made sense. It made sense that this was a great step in the right direction. So I jumped in with training, trying to do as much as I could, and car rides to work and back. In the early mornings at 4 o'clock in the morning, while I was baking banana bread for the coffee shop, I would sit there and listen to Cole's training and replays of Aaron's trainings, and just as much as I could. Any free moment I could get, I was trying to just download the information. And it was like drinking from a fire hydrant, honestly. And but it finally started to get controlled, and, like, it was like there's that feeling of overwhelming amount of information, when you start something new, especially when you come from something that you do exceptionally well. Like, I've been in coffee for 10 years, I know coffee, I can talk it in and out. And then I'm supposed to be thrown in sales and pretend like I'm good at it. And it was tough. It was tough. And I realized though, like in Aaron and his coaching, you man, I really appreciate it because you brought it down to a realistic, tangible level. Because you hear all the mock calls with like Cole and yourself and even like how Hunter and all of them did. It was y'all are exceptionally good at your job, but y'all been doing it for a long time.
Right.
And y'all are masters of the craft, which is why y'all are in the positions you are. And so it's just so awesome to learn from you guys, to be able to learn from the masters who've made the mistakes, who've made the corrections, who understand the shortcuts you need to take to get to where you need to be. Like the real ones, not the fake ones where it's, you're cutting off hard work to get results. It's the shortcuts to like, hey, learn from my mistakes. Don't repeat them, learn from them. And avoid them.
Make your own mistakes. Don't make mine.
Yeah. Right. And so it's been great, man. RCA, it was just from day one has been a home of encouragement and growth, tough conversations, but there's been a reason for the tough conversations. Like, everybody's been so good at just encouraging each other, even when, you get on a mock call and you just completely flop it. And then you go back and listen to it and realize it was even worse than you thought it was. People are still like, hey, listen, been there, done that. Do the bad calls. You got to do the bad calls. Do them here before you're supposed to be doing them out in the real world. That's why we're here. And so it's just awesome, man. RCA, I literally don't have enough time on here to just like vomit the amazing things y'all have done. And so you've really captured a life change for me, and I appreciate it. I just love that every one of y'all have been part of my story. And so
I love it. I love being part of your story, man. And I think my favorite part, both about what you said and about like your story that we haven't completely touched on, was that it wasn't like super convenient. It's not like you're unemployed or like independently wealthy and have 8 hours a day. Like I remember you being on group calls from the back of the coffee shop more often than not, and listening to training on the way, doing mock calls to people in different time zones when you're on the way to work. Like, it wasn't, I have all the time in the world, I'm going to train for, 18 hours a day because there's nothing else going on. You had to like work for it. You had to fight for it.
Right.
You had to make it happen.
Right.
And that's what's so exciting about where you are now. So we get through the training and get into the pipeline. What was it like for you, like in the pipeline and in the interview experience with like the business owners once you got there?
All right. So, so I had my interview. I got put into the pipeline, have an interview. Super, super great. Loved every second of it. Learned a lot. I answered some good questions. And they, it was a tough interview because it made me feel a little unprepared. Because it did highlight some of my weaknesses, but I think it was on purpose, because then there was able to add strength into those areas of like, all right, hey, you did great in these areas. Let's work on these 3 areas and just really strengthen you up in this. And so there was a lot of encouragement given into those areas, and like just being able to like cadence, tonality. Like I did really well in those things, and then the other sides, it's just kind of like, all right, stop thinking about a script. Stop thinking about a script. Like, it's great, you need to know the script and have a good overview of it, but you're trying to think about what the next line in the script is, and it's causing you to stop, or as things like that, just simple things. So like, it's always been an issue for me on my end when I was going through RCA. It's just like I got so like stuck on the script. And so Aaron and all you guys always tried to help me get, like, it's okay to follow the script, but if somebody takes you somewhere else, like, you need to be able to go out there and get them and bring them back. And so instead of letting them just run away with you, but when you're nonstop thinking about what the next line is in the script, you can't do that, because they just went away from it, and then you freeze.
And you just let them ramble.
Right. And you're just like, I don't know how to bring this back. And then, but that was some things that I really, really worked on. And so that was the great feedback I got during my initial interview. But I did pretty well overall. And then I ironically, what I had said, I was looking for a job with a company that was looking for more of a long-term employee. I don't love ticket jumping, things like that. The concept is great in certain times and areas. I hate swapping jobs. It's my own personal thing. It has nothing to do with RCA or with the industry or anything. I hate swapping jobs. So I told him, I was like, listen, I want to stick. I want to get it right the first time, and I really want to have a long-term, employer as much as I can. And again, I know I'm working for myself, but as far as like a team, I don't want to be swapping teammates. Like I love that idea of family in a job environment. Just a big, people are supporting each other. So that was one really huge thing that I was adamant I was going to have, looking for a job. And after I told him all these things, he said, I think we have a job that came in that today that was, pretty spot on what you said. Let's see if we can't set something up. So from there, it went into, I got an interview, got connected over Messenger with them and set up an interview, did my mock call, loved the people I met. I got offered a spot on the job. I got offered a job on the spot. They pretty much stopped all further interviews. And they offered me the job there. And like, I could just feel that it was a family environment, and I didn't understand anything about this job. I really didn't have a huge depth of knowledge of what this company does, but I just knew that there was a sense of like love towards their people. And come to find out, their motto is one family, one team. And they say that almost every day and almost every meeting. And I was like, how could this couldn't have been a better fit.
Right, perfect.
And so what's funny is what I do is, like, I'm a setter right now. What I do is we talk to burnout CEO, business owners and leaders who are looking to get some freedom back in their life, and they're trying to get some help to get their work and their life restructured in that way. And I was just laughing. I was like, this is me. I'm talking to me every day. And so it literally couldn't have been more perfect, man. I can't say why or what happened, but man, it was a blessing and a gift.
That's amazing,
and so it's crazy. RCA was just a wonderful vehicle to get me to a new destination of freedom, and just, I don't know, man, just happiness. It's been a long time since I could say that in confidence, So man, I've got all the praise going to you guys.
I love it, man.
Y'all are
And
awesome.
you look so much happier. That was the first thing I said when we first jumped on. It's like, you look different. I love it. You look well rested.
Yes.
How's life been? You came in looking for more time with your family, but not at the expense of losing your house.
Right.
Like, how are things now that you're on the gig?
Bro, it's been phenomenal. Like, I had a paper snowball fight with my kids this morning because we're in South Carolina. There's no snow, so at least not yet. And then I got all my old gaming systems out and played Just Dance on the Wii and lost any sense of dignity I had for my children. So there's no respect anymore, but that's fine. That I showed them some moves. That's good. But I never would have been able to do anything like that. Like, we've been on weekend trips. I had the first vacation, I think, in 10 years for Thanksgiving, like, legit, without worrying about stuff. Like, I mean, my phone would always blow up if I was ever out of town. And it's happened before, where I'd have to cut my trip short with my family and come home and drag all my kids back and my family back home because of somebody decided they didn't want to come to work, type deal.
Right.
So this has been the first real vacation I've had in forever. And my kids have talked about it nonstop, about how much I was there. And so, I mean, it's a gift that I can never thank you guys enough for. So
That's amazing, man. I'm so happy for you. I love hearing
yeah,
that. I really genuinely do. It's so important. And it's so important to them. You know, it's
yeah,
such a life changer for them.
yeah.
Those
So
memories, and that time with
I,
their dad.
and even on the flip side, like for my wife and I, like we're getting like we're gonna be able to schedule like a consistent date night. That's never happened. Like it's like pulling teeth trying to get my old job to leave me alone long enough just to go on a date. And
Right.
so that's also been huge just for my marriage sake, you know. It's been good. So
I'm so happy for you, man.
yeah, bro, me too.
I know you don't have too much time. So before we jump, what would, as someone that's gone through the whole process from front to back and kind of hit
Yeah.
every high and low that's possible, like what would you say to the person that like enrolling today? Like they just started RCA. Like what's your piece of advice to that person?
All right. So you got to make the sacrifice. Listen, this isn't going to work. Like Cole says, it's not like this training isn't a magic bullet for you unless you do it. You can't just like pretend you do it. You can't just kind of just listen to the training in the background. Like you have to do it. That there, like I've seen too many success stories to know that this stuff is real. Like the training is real. Like the value in it is infinitely more, like monetarily wise, especially that you've already put in. Like what you're going to get your return on investment is huge, huge. Like you've created your own business. Like, and that took a long time for me to understand. Like every time I watch a training video, every time I hop on a mock call or get on a coaching call, I'm investing in my business because I'm creating myself better at my craft. And it's hard because I stunk at it for a long time and I'm still kind of stinky, but I'm getting better. So, but that's the great thing about it is, and even though I'm done and I'm in a new job, I'm still coming back to Cole's training because I'm hitting things like in the real world now that makes like the training is coming to life now. Like I understand why Cole is hitting things from certain angles because you know the prospects and the people you're going to talk to are going to be doing this like things that we never ever can do in mock calls because we're just again it's mock calls, it's not real world. So like the training is I think just as valuable now as it was in the beginning, but it's just in a new light for me. And so I that right there has been huge. But again, like if you're starting out, you've got to put in the work. You're not going to succeed unless you do it. You have to make that decision. You've already made the monetary commitment. Make the time commitment. Do it because you're going to have the freedom you're looking for. You're going to have the money you're looking for, but you have to do it. Do the work. I know it's tough. I've been there. I've done it. I've done it on 80-hour weeks. I've done it on 90-hour weeks. I'm tired. It's tired. It's hard to do mock calls when you're running on 2 hours sleep. But
with children.
But the outcome of it is huge. And you're paving a road to life change. It's not going to be easy. Again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a get rich easy scheme. Again, you're building a business and it's tough, but your return on investment is huge. And I honestly, I've only scratched the surface on my end of that. And I'm the worst at my job that I'll ever be, and I'll make the least amount of money that I'll ever make right now. And so, and I'm very happy where I am. So it just gives me a fuel to just like keep consuming information, keep being better, continue that drive. Don't let that fire go out. I know there's discouraging days, and I know they're hard, but push past them. You've got this. If I can do it, Lord have mercy. I know you guys out there can do it.
True. Yeah. Eric wasn't naturally gifted at it when he came in. Let me tell you, it was work.
Terrible.
He did work to get as good as he is. Oh man, thank you so much for that, man. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Yeah, no problem.
Congratulations again. I'm so happy for you. And
thank you, man.
And keep coming back. Keep us posted. But
Absolutely. I'll keep dropping in on trainings, man. Always a student. Keep that mindset, guys. Always a
amen.
student. Oh,
Good to see you, brother. I love you.
good to see you too, bro. I
Talk
love you
soon.
too, man. All right. Bye.